now listening to Goblin Bomb Radio.
Unicorns everywhere. Welcome to episode 2 of Goblin Bomb Radio with me, Pharaoh, your friendly local neighborhood Pharaoh. I don't know where that came from.
Wow.
Yeah, I have no idea.
No comment, dude.
Good. I don't want you to comment. But yeah, anyways, that was Otto with the wise cracks.
How's it going, everyone?
And the other guy is Tank.
Yo.
So gents, it's episode 2, and the biggest news, I guess, from the past few days has been Yoshi P's live letter, the most recent live letter, which was on Thursday.
Oh, wow, I missed it, I guess.
Number 8.
You're such a damn liar, Tank. Oh, I missed it. Didn't get to see it. Well, let's just jump into it, because there's some pretty big information if some of you people did miss it. Phase 4, we got dates. We're ready to go now. Open beta will start on August 17th and last to the 19th, unless you were in Phase 3. If you are a Phase 3 beta tester already, then Phase 4 will begin on the 16th for you. Needless to say, a lot of people are kind of on the fence with that. A lot of people don't mind. I'm one of the ones that don't really mind, although it sucks to wait.
Yeah, we only have a few more days, though.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, what is it now? The 11th, so we're looking good. 5 days, 4 days. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, so moving on, we got early access. We got the dates for that. That will begin on the 24th. So we will have a downtime from the 19th to the 24th. And then the 24th, that's essentially is going to run right into the launch. They gave us the 24th to the 26th. So I'm sure there's going to be a brief offline period, but it shouldn't be too long. And then, obviously, the game launches on the 27th, so the servers will be back up that day. So, a little shorter than I actually anticipated, because I think I remember Yoshi saying that he wanted a 5-day early access, but I guess, obviously, that changed.
Yeah, he's entitled to change his mind, I guess.
It's not really that big of an issue, though. Just look at it this way. In 2 weeks, the game is out.
Pretty much. I mean, the way I kind of look at it, and I've seen a lot of people giving some grief to the devs for this, but the way I look at it is I actually kind of like the shorter time frames, only because they did say that Phase 4, all character data, all data in general is going to transfer, barring any major issues. So I kind of like the shorter phases to Phase 4 and early access. I think it's good because you're not gonna have like a big huge gap. At least hopefully you won't have a big huge gap between people that are just starting on the 27th and people that have had early access or whatever.
Yeah, as far as Phase 4 goes, I mean, it's really, truthfully, for all those who haven't got a chance to try it out yet. It's just essentially a little tease, because you can only go to 20 anyway, so.
Now, even if those who've never played the game, will their data carry over?
What data?
From Phase 4.
What do you mean, like the people that haven't been beta testing prior to that?
Yeah, like, okay, let's say I never tested it and I come in on the 17th. Will my data carry over to the early access if I pre-order the game, even though I've never played the game before?
I believe so, yes.
That's not bad. That's actually a good deal then.
I mean, that's what I would assume. Otherwise, what's early access for you then?
True.
You know, so, but I mean, like Tank said, Phase 4 is capped at level 20, which I also think is a good thing, because again, I don't want a whole big segregation between the new players to the people that have had Phase 4 and early access. So I'm personally on board with that, even though that's gotten a lot of people pretty like hyped and not so happy. Other than that, Phase 4 will have full voice acting, will be in the game. As far as I know, all the cutscenes are in. Pretty much everything is in as far as Phase 4 is concerned.
Right, up to 20.
Right, but I'm talking more in terms of cutscenes and voice acting, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything's in, just like the regular game would be.
Let's see. We did get the announcement that for the PS3, for Phase 4. Screenshots will be now available for the PS3, which is a good thing, because I did see a fair bit of people, mention that prior to Phase 4. So PS3 screenshots will be in. That's a good thing.
Yeah, my wife was one of them. Did you mention about the 1.0 users being free to play to the 9th? Were you going to bring it up?
You just did.
Oh. Well.
So there you go.
Tanksition.
So yeah, okay. That's part of a welcome back campaign. 1.0 players are all free until September 9th. It's not a huge amount of time, but if you were a 1.0 player and you're interested and you haven't gotten into it yet, what better chance do you have? You know what I mean? Jump on for at least till the 9th, see how you like it.
And just clarify that, though, you don't have to be a legacy. That's all version 1.0 people.
Yes.
Thank you, kind sir.
You're welcome.
Phase 4 also is going to be like more of a focus on PvP and housing as far as the testing aspect of it. PvP, there is not going to be any PvP actions in Phase 4. It's really, really, really minor PvP as far as Phase 4 is concerned. They literally, Yoshi wants to see like range, like how far away you can be to hit somebody. Basically, he just wants people to just hit each other, and they'll collect the data from that and determine what needs to be changed and all that kind of stuff. So don't go into Phase 4 expecting full-on PvP battles and all that kind of shit. It's not going to happen.
We could do that, can't we, Otto?
Oh yeah, definitely.
The housing, not quite sure how they're going to work it, but that's one of the focuses they want us to test. I don't know if it was the zones or the housing itself. That part kind of got a little confusing for me, and nonetheless, it'll be in there somewhere in some form or fashion. Let's see, what else do we have? Arcanist is confirmed for Phase 4. Arcanist is also now no longer thought to be a healer, as it's been confirmed by Yoshi that it's actually a DPS and kind of a debuffer in a sense too. They have weak magic attack, and they need their pet in order to balance that out. So to be a complete kind of class, they actually need Carbuncle, which I kind of thought was good, because otherwise you'd be overpowered if you had a pet and you were at full strength.
Yeah, it's kind of neat too that they split up the Carbies. You got Carbuncle, Ruby, I guess, and what's the other one? Topaz?
Yeah, I don't recall the name, but it was definitely that color.
Yeah, Topaz, I think Carby is tank, so.
As far as they did give us what the pet actions would be, and I did see, I have seen people actually ask this question before. So the pet actions will be return, move, stay, and peace. Peace is basically they do absolutely nothing. They sit in one spot and that is it. Doesn't matter. He said that even if you get attacked, your pet will do nothing. It will stay there.
So it's no different than my dog is right now.
There you go. Anybody that's wondering, you can break into Tank's house because you don't have to worry about his dog.
That's a good comparison, bro.
You get your face licked.
As far as the Arcanist and the jobs that associate with it, obviously we have Summoner and Scholar. That was known. But Summoner is confirmed to be a DPS with like area attacks. Essentially the way it works. And Scholar is very similar, but just a different role. Essentially the way it works is like a Summoner will be able to actually put a circle on the ground. And within that circle, anything as obviously is going to take damage. So they are a DPS or a DD, whatever you guys prefer to call it. And then you got Scholar, which is essentially the same thing, but the healer version of it. So they can also do like area heals with a circle on the ground. They definitely seem to be more heal over time type of healer, as opposed to where like the white mage just blasts you with chunks and chunks of HP.
I just wanted to say, because I could run through this real quick, I just wanted to let you guys know about the Eggies. Ifrit is a DPS up close character for fighting. Garuda is a DPS at range. And Titan will be a tank. So they didn't show off the sprites or the fairies for Scholar. So I'm not really sure what their roles are going to be, but there you go.
Well, I do kind of recall him saying something about you'll be able to move your fairy no different than like a carbuncle. Like you'll be able to actually send him to a location, and then your fairy, I believe, can help heal.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Well, wouldn't they make the fairies like healing types? Like one will be a group heal, one will be a single heal. Like
yeah, I was just
if that's the case.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I don't know how they're set up though, so I don't. That's why I didn't bring it up.
It's gonna be interesting.
I'll tell you what though, some of the the animations for Summoner were pretty badass looking.
Yeah, I thought so too. One more quick thing: Summoner and Scholar will be sharing attribute points.
Yeah, I know that's caused a lot of stink.
So, what do you mean by that?
See, it was all confusing because originally Yoshi said that they wouldn't, and then they went to break, and then they came back, and he corrected himself and said that they would share points. So essentially, if you get 30 attribute points, leveling your class, your Arcanist up, and your Summoner or your Scholar, you have to attribute those 30 points, but they're not gonna, like, if you were to be a Scholar and you have your 30 points set, right? If you change to Summoner, you don't get to just change your attribute points. So you have to actually...
Damn.
Yeah, it's because they're shared. So you actually have to think, like, if you are going to be one of those people who wants to jump back and forth from those two jobs, you're going to have to allocate your points accordingly.
Wow. That's actually pretty interesting. That's actually going to break a lot of people's heads.
Yeah, he said there would be a way to switch, but essentially he was like, well, if you switch to Summoner, if you're a Summoner and you switch to Scholar, you won't be able to switch the points like the next day or anything. You have to wait.
Yeah, that part of the whole thing got real confusing.
Probably going to be like version 1.0 where you have to use a certain item in order to change your attributes.
That's what I would guess, but at the same time, it's kind of like how available are those items going to be?
Right.
True.
He said it wasn't going to be an easy thing, and it's all speculation right now until we get to test it, which we aren't going to get to do in beta. So,
I mean, to be completely honest with you, it kind of sucks. To be honest, I don't know if I like it that much. I think I'd prefer to be able to set my points for Scholar and then be able to set points for Summoner and then just have them two things be separate.
well, you think that would have been thought out a bit more than that because every class or every job has your attribute points. You can set up for everything. So every time you start a new one, you're getting more attribute points. You don't have to reset them all the time. So, I don't understand what's going on here.
You know what's going to cause a big conflict with that? When they start releasing new jobs. Let's say for Gladiator, they have the Paladin. When they release, let's say, Dark Knight for it and you already have your points set, you're going to be sort of screwed and pissed off, probably.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's definitely a good point.
There's gonna be a lot of conflict. A lot of people complain about that. Watch.
The thing with it is though is obviously is essentially is your attribute points are tied to your class and not your job. That's the part that I think people are having trouble with, and that's the part that I have trouble with. I'd prefer it be tied to my job than my class, just so that way I don't have to switch. You know what I mean? Or I can switch freely and not have to worry about, well, let me see if I can go get an item to fix my points because I want to be a Summoner right now. I don't know. It just kind of, I guess in a sense, it kind of defeats the purpose of playing every single role.
Right. Well, I think you're right, though. There should be a way to make it that if you're Summoner, once your points are done, it's finished. That's for Summoner. You can't switch it. But once you switch to Scholar, like everything is set. Once you get it done and your points are used, it's done. You can't do it again.
Yeah, and then you switch to Scholar, and then your points automatically just reset. You have to reallocate those points for Scholar, and then when they're done, now you're done to get all together. You don't even have to worry about it anymore.
Exactly.
Right. That's the way I prefer to see it. But I mean, we'll have to see how it plays out. I mean, maybe there's something in it that we haven't seen that it makes it better that way, the way that they're planning. Who knows?
It sounds like they don't even know, so we'll find out soon enough.
True. And then, again, that's one of the things that may change over time. That's what patches are for and that kind of thing. I mean, if the community itself doesn't like it, they'll obviously change it. So we'll have to see. Moving on, though, we did get news of a server transfer. There will be a fee for it, but you can move 8 characters to a single world. Is going to be available 2 to 3 weeks from after launch. The big kind of thing going on with that is I think a lot of the legacy players are assuming that they'll be able to move to the new servers, and I don't think that's the case.
I hope not.
I don't think that it is. I know that I personally would be pretty mad about it because I have a legacy character with all battle classes at 50. So if I can just take my legacy character in 2 to 3 weeks over to a new server, then that defeats the entire purpose of me doing what I'm doing and starting fresh. Like, I'm essentially taking my legacy character and dumping it. Like, I'm breaking up. It's over. We had a fight. It didn't work out. So I'm breaking up.
I didn't like him anay, so
He was cheating on you, wasn't he?
You know what? Both of yous... You're going to get your backhand in a minute. But yeah, I mean, we broke up, and I don't want in 2 to 3 weeks after the game comes out to have the ability to use him again on the new server that I chose to start fresh from. That just kind of, I don't know, would kind of defeat the whole purpose.
I honestly think they won't because of the fact that aren't the legacy servers bracketed in like a little legacy list, and then the new servers are by themselves, like separate from that?
Yeah, I mean, the way I took the announcement of the server transfer was that Legacy will be able to transfer in 2 to 3 weeks to whatever Legacy server they want for a fee. You had that small window that they allowed us to do it in, and if you didn't do it, well, then you'll have to pay a fee when you do want to do it if you want to do it again. Or maybe there's people that did do it already. That, let's say, you go from like Masamune to Excalibur. Well, if you get to Excalibur and you're not happy with it, then you want to move again. That's where they're kind of just, I think they're saying, no, there'll be a fee, but that's not going to be available for 2 to 3 weeks. I don't think they're going to let legacy characters move to the brand new servers. Not that soon after launch. I can't see that happening. So, ultimately, I just kind of wanted to clear the air on that. I think that's been misinterpreted by a lot of the legacy players. So, what else we got? They did announce that there will be an app for iPad and phones and Androids and all that kind of stuff. I know you know more about this, Tank, so I'll just let you handle that.
Yeah, I think it's called Libra Eorzea is what it's called, I think. Libra Eorzea. And that's 1 week after launch for iOS and 3 weeks to a month for Android after launch.
And there you have it. That's pretty much it. I mean, with the app, that you'll be able to see everything. Basically, almost like you're even in the game. You'll be able to see the gear that you have equipped or that your friend has equipped, and you'll be able to see their stats, like all kinds of stuff. So that's going to be a pretty neat app. It is. You did say that it's free, right? Because it's free to all. Yeah. Did you say it?
I think I did. We'll find out later.
Yeah, true that. I don't remember. So I'll say it again. It's free to all Final Fantasy XIV players. So there you go. They consider the charge for the app is a part of your sub. So
yeah, you're gonna just real quick. You're gonna be getting recipes in there. You're gonna have questing maps, all sorts of stuff. So check that out when you get the chance.
Yeah, it should be a neat little app. Well, as I started off the show, this one's been kind of funny to actually watch play out on the forums, but the unicorn mount. Wow.
Yeah. Woohoo.
I got no beef with it. Oto's not a fan.
I like it.
Yeah. About that.
I got no problems with it. I mean, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not going to rock the thing. Like, there's no way I'm riding around on a unicorn, but I don't really care if it's in the game. It's not really going to bother me.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be riding it. Am I roguing on that thing?
Just like you said, a lot of people jumping around you won't bother you.
I never said that. I said the opposite, as a matter of fact. People that just constantly jump all the time, that gets a little annoying. But, I mean, I don't care because I'm going to be riding my Chocobo. I prefer the Chocobo. I'm not a fan of the multiple mount thing in general, but at the same time...
I think they should just kept it original Chocobos and just give us different colors.
Man, I'd have been down for that. But, I mean, whatever. It's a unicorn. You don't have to ride it. And, the interesting thing about it, though, was it really, really sounded like it was class-specific.
Yes.
There's still a little bit of, question to that. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but it sure as hell seemed that way. It seems as though you have to be a conjurer in order to get it, and once you do one of the quests that's conjurer related, you'll get that mount. Now they did say that. See, this is where it's I'm pretty sure it's class specific because I do recall them saying that once you get the mount, once you obtain the mount, you'll be able to ride it on all classes.
Which makes me think that other classes are going to have different mounts eventually.
Sweet. If Dragoon gets a dragon.
If not right off the bat. How you going to release with Conjurer having the only one, and then everybody else is just screwed. Then everybody would want to play Conjurer right away.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Well, yeah, except Oto, because he doesn't like unicorns. Oto doesn't believe in dreams, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I believe in dreams, just not like Candyland.
He doesn't believe in dreams and rainbows.
So maybe the Thaumaturge will get a
Magic carpet.
Cerberus.
Magic carpet.
No, they'll get a nightmare.
You get to be like Aladdin and ride around on your magic carpet with your curl mount. Oh, that just seemed to work. But yeah, I mean, I'm curious. I'd like to see what other... See, because you know what made me kind of think that, too, is there was a question, and I don't remember where it was in correlation to the unicorn thing, but there definitely was a question where somebody said, are there any surprises that you have for launch? And Yoshi was like, what was the next question? Like, real fast. Like, I don't remember if that was exact words or not, but they moved right over that so quick. So it kind of makes me think maybe there's definitely something, I think, that he's got that he ain't telling us about, and it may be the other classes mounts.
You know what would be a sweet mount for the summoner? If you can actually ride the summons as your mount.
Nah, people would be too jelly, I think.
Yeah, true. Didn't think about that.
Let's see. Well, moving on from the mount thing, they did say that the free companies will be able to acquire points, and that those points can be used for free company buffs. The example that they gave was that you be able to use your points and get an experience points boost as a buff, and then everybody in your free company has that experience points boost. So that was just an example that he gave. So I like the idea. I don't know how that's going to be in PvP. That kind of makes me a little nervous. Hopefully, essentially what I'm saying is hopefully that the buffs don't carry into PvP, because, you know, let's say, for an example, our free company, we get some points, we get a buff, we get the experience points buff, right? That's the one we go for that particular day or week or however it works. And then, you know, Tank wants to go fight PvP, and he goes in to PvP against some group or some guy who's part of some other free company, and his buff is like, I don't know, double attack or something like that. You know what I mean? That would kind of suck.
Yeah, that would. Win.
So hopefully that kind of stuff doesn't carry into PvP. I mean, the idea is pretty cool, though. I like that we're going to have more for your group. You know what I mean? Like, and to use earlier terminology, like your link shell or in this case, your free company. So I like that there's going to be more of like a guild feel to everything. And
yeah, I figured as much as the points go, as far as the points go, I mean, it's pretty much just going to be for purchasing things, I thought.
Now, speaking about the free company, I know you can already sign up for the free company, you get your 4 people and everything, but are they going to let us test out the housing for the free company? Or is that still a no-show until release?
Just the look of it.
Just the look?
Yeah, I guess, like I said earlier with the housing, like I don't really know. It got confusing when I was watching it, so it's hard for me to relate through the show. Yeah,
as far as testing goes, just testing the housing and look. Changing colors, wall colors, roof colors, stuff like that. There was another announcement for an optional payment method, which we'll let Tank handle because he's got all that information as far as payment options. So I'm going to let you run through that, Tank. Yeah, essentially there's 3 ways to pay. You could pay with Krista, which is pretty much like PayPal, but it's strictly for Final Fantasy 11 and 14. You just pay money to Square Enix, they give you Krista, and then you use the Krista to purchase your subscription. Then there's Course Credit Card, Old Faithful. And then there's new cards, they're prepaid cards coming out, subscription cards, and they are $30 cards and $60 cards right now. I'm not sure if they said that they were supposed to be higher later or not, but... Just a quick little correction. It's 30-day and 60-day. Did I say dollar? Yes, you did. My bad. Yeah, 30-day and 60-day. And then to answer your question, I do think they said that they would have longer term cards, but they're not going to be right at the beginning. They'll have them. They'll roll them out over time. Right, and they're pretty much going to be at your GameStop and who knows, Walmart, places like that. Anywhere you can pick up a game, I'm sure that the retailers will have them. They got all different sorts of designs on them, so if you collect stuff like that, there you go.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were pretty happy about it though, and it opens it up to a lot more people to be able to access the game. So that's always a good thing. And then just to add in a few other places, I know that like my local Sunoco, my A plus at the Sunoco, they carry them. They don't. I haven't seen those particular cards yet, but I know they carry game cards.
Sweet, so I can go get gas and pick up my subscription fee.
Yep, you could. Just because we're kind of running down on time here, I'll just run through that. They also confirmed fishing for Phase 4. There's a big gripe about fishing going on right now. I think rightfully so on some parts. I don't want to get into it right now because that's something we can touch on in another show. But it's confirmed for Phase 4, so fishing will be in. The only thing with fishing is that I'm going to say this. Some of you guys might freak out, but fishing will not have any impact on the market whatsoever. So there's no selling your fish, no recipes for your fish, none of that stuff. So if you have comments about that, leave them in our Twitter or our Facebook or on apexgamer.net. You can leave it there as well, or even YouTube, youtube.com/Goblin Bomb Radio, and then there's Twitter, which is Goblin Bomb. It's at Goblin Bomb. Facebook is facebook.com/Goblin Bomb Radio. You can get us on iTunes, and then apexgamer.net. You can also get it through there. And like I said, if you have comments, leave them at any one of those places. Even if you want to leave it on iTunes, I don't really care, even if it's for reviews and that kind of thing. Even if you just have a comment, whatever, you can leave it there. I do check it. So with that, though, I think that's going to about wrap us up for the live letter edition.
Yeah, cool. Well, I hope everybody checks in then, Phase 4 and Early Access. See you in game, I guess.
Yep, check it out. Give it a shot.
Yeah, and I mean, just a quick recap. I know that, well, not recap, but, whatever. You'll see what I'm talking about. I know that there's some things that we didn't cover. I know that, like, there's, the Bahamut Labyrinth, the Crystal Tower, the Moogle King, the Barbershop. There's a bunch of stuff that we didn't cover. A lot of the stuff is going to be held till patch 2.1, so it's kind of not as important to get it done and discussed right in this second. Plus, we haven't been able to see a lot of the stuff either, so rightfully so, in time, we'll be able to talk more about it, and we're going to get into all that stuff, and we'll run through everything and give you the whole ordeal. Is there anything else, real quick, guys, that you guys?
Yeah, I do got one thing. I like unicorns.
I'm not even going to comment on that.
Oto doesn't want to run on rainbows. He doesn't like it. Go ahead, dude. Let it out.
Just look at it. Come on now, guys. Really, a unicorn in Final Fantasy? I understand Final Fantasy has a history of having unicorns, but they were like horses with like blades on their heads, which they like throw in and like zigzags and cuts you. It's literally a horn. Like, no. A white pony with a horn. No.
Nay.
I don't know. I eventually, because I like collecting shit, so I'm eventually going to unlock it. Yes, I'm going to go conjure and unlock it, but I will never in my life ride it.
Look, I'll give you this, Oto. I agree that they could have made it a lot cooler looking. It's pretty plain.
When on the forums, when people were complaining, when they first saw the little icon, they were like, "Oh, Ixion, what was it? Final Fantasy X, was it? That would have been sweet as hell. The lightning horse."
Well, like I said, I agree they could have made it cooler looking. But whatever. It's a unicorn. No big deal. Don't ride it if you don't like it.
I'm gonna put that at the very bottom of my a crate in my house and just forget about it.
I will warn you though, if I ever catch you riding it, I will forever ridicule you.
That's two of us.
I'll make sure I'm lost in the cave.
And I will put you on full blast on the show.
Better have screenshots then, because if not, there's no proof.
The crappy part is that you do the damn YouTube videos.
Delete.
Although I run ApexGamer.net, so I'll put them on there.
True.
But hey, yeah, like Tank said though, guys, we look forward to playing. Hopefully, we get to see some of you guys in the game. I'm not going to tell you what server we're on, just for wink wink purposes.
It's a secret.
But if you happen to come across Pharaoh, Oto, and Tank, hit us up. And again, comment, let us know, subscribe on iTunes and YouTube and all that good stuff, and Twitter, follow us, and Facebook, like us, and all that shit. and leave us some comments. Tell us what you think of the show. Tell us your opinions, especially for Oto's sake. Leave him some thoughts on the unicorn. And until next week, that's going to do it for Oto, Tank, and myself. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.